Good morning everybody, Mopsy here with a follow-up video to the FSL that I did the other day. Um, these videos that I make are really just overviews, and they're just to point you in the right direction of what's possible. They're by no means the end results. Anything I do, I'm hoping that it'll give you the courage to click the buttons and practice and play and just see what you can achieve. It appears that some of you are thinking that the files I end up with are end results ready to stitch out, which they're not. Most of them need an awful lot more editing before they're ready to be a stitch file, and a point in fact is that FSL. Just to back that up, I went ahead and I stitched out the end result of the FSL with no more editing at all. And although it was obvious it needed a lot more editing, but just to prove the point, there you can see I stitched the design out, and here it is, still with the water-soluble stabilizer on, but you can, I'm hoping it's obvious to most of you, the satin stitch isn't wide enough on here, and there are gaps in the design, so I needed to play with the distance or use a different pattern on here. The circles, they're not actually circles. If you remember on that design, it was a two-color and they were half circles, so I'm looking for them now, but I could see gaps in the half circles there. So let me come down here. So after washing the WSS out, this is what I end up with, and it, for the most part, it's pretty solid and stable, but it's tatty. It's obvious that there's problems. You can see the gaps. You can see where the satin was too thin and gaps in the circles there. So to address that, I'm going to redo that file, and this time I'm going to do it so it could be stitched out in the end. So here we go. I'm starting with a new hoop, and I'm going to go straight to auto punch and do the same process. I'm going to select the image, and I'm going to choose the flower again if I can find it. There it is. Next, I don't need to crop it, and I'm going to change my unit to inches and make it 5 inches, and go to next. I'm going to narrow down the break point between the fill and the satin, and come on computer, you can do it. I also have a new mouse, so I shouldn't have the mouse problems that I had before. Okay, I don't want to stitch the background, and although I didn't have a background, okay, I'm clicking all 3 elements. I'm holding my control key down on my keyboard, click, 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 and changing the density to 3 as always. And I say the underlay, there's no point in putting a fill underlay, although you think that would help. The motif pattern will actually remove that underlay automatically, so there's really no point in selecting an underlay for that. So here we go, there we have it on the screen, 1-for-1 view, realistic view. So this is where we started on the FSL video. So I'm going to go straight to the center dot, and in fact at this point I'm going to change it to white. I'm also going to change the, come there, before I play around with it, and the petals I'm going to also make white. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit closer. So I'm going to select the center circle. I'm going to come up to outline edit and go straight to my embroidery settings. My box is locked open, so I can go to stitch type, the motif fill, catalog, and I'm going to pick a design. Let's have a look. I'm going to pick different ones this time. So I've double clicked to pick the pattern, and I'm going to apply it. And that looks, I like that pattern, but it's obviously gaps in it, so I need to play around with this a little bit. So on the size, I'm going to up that to 70. I prefer that. And then the distance, let's try 30. That's better, but it actually to me is a little bit too dense. So 35. So don't be frightened of pressing these buttons. There you go. I actually like that. Um, that will be fine on that. So now I come to the donut and stitch type tab, come down to motif, come up and click the word catalog to open the catalog up, and I'm going to pick another design. What do you guys think? Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm going to try that one. So double click and apply. Yeah, I think that's pretty, but again, you can see the gaps there. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm just going to try the distance on this one. Let's try 30. Well, that looks pretty well stitched to me. It's got good coverage, it's got good overlap, it should hold together well. So here I go to settings, and on this one I want to give it a satin outline. So there we have a satin outline, too big, but we also know 15 was too small. So let's go for try 25. Yeah, I like that. And we wanted that a different colour, so I'm going to come to a sort of a goldy colour on that. Apply that. Yeah, there we go. That's I'm liking that. So now I come to the petals, stitch type, motif fill, the catalogue, and last time on here I chose one of the two tones, and as you can see it was split there. So this time I'm going to pick a different, I'm just going to go for the first one and apply that. And size, I'd like that changed a little bit bigger. Let's apply that and see how that looks. That looks better there, but I want to bring the distance down so I get a better overlap. And let's see what that looks like. There you go. So can you guys see the difference? I'm hoping so. I'm going to have the satin outline on this. I say we know the 45 was too large, but I'm going to do it anyway just so you can see. Yeah, that's too large. So I'm going to bring that to 25 like I did the inner one, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's better. Let's try 30, although I think 25 is pretty good there. And I'm applying that, and as soon as that's applied I'm going to stitch it, wait for my spinning circle of death to go away, and close my box, come out of the outline edit, and I'm going to view, let's go to my screen color, and let's go down a little bit. So I'm hoping you can now appreciate the difference with this design. And as I say, I was hoping that you guys would play around and see the things yourself. But here we go. File, save design as. Let's have a look. Hold on. Oh, a FSL. A FSL flower. Okay. And I'm going to close that. Change it to the FHE, the Future Home Embroidery, yes. So let's see what happens when we open that up. Let's view, realistic view. Let's go into 100%, and I'm on the FHE, so it's still seeing it, as you can see here, as one design, one block. Don't want that. I'm going to come to the flower. Here we go. That's better. And it's going to stitch the block 1 is the petals, and block 2 is the outline of the petals, block 3 is the center circle, and block 4 is the yellow. I want the satin stitch to be after the circle. So I'm going to reorder that to the end of the design. It's just easier for me. And then click the yellow satin reorder to the end of the design. So now my stitching is going to be the petals, the circle, the satin outline, and then the yellow. And I'm happy with that. I don't know what you think that's coming there, but there you go. Hopefully you can appreciate and see the difference. I will go ahead now and stitch this out, and I will post the results on my Facebook Auto Punch group. So um, I hope this makes sense, guys. I say I'm just giving you overviews of what is possible. Play with the buttons, make choices, and see how you get on, and maybe let me see some of your results. So I'll catch you guys later. Take care and have a great day. Bye.